If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.
Am I a bad girlfriend for not having sex with my boyfriend on his birthday? My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years now. We took things very slow at the beginning of the relationship, so we did not move in with each other until almost a year ago. Before we lived together, we would see each other only once or twice a week on the weekends and never spent the night together. We both still lived with family and did not want to be disrespectful to them. We found other ways to be intimate, usually in the car. We would go on dates, then one of us would drop the other off, and if things led to sex, we would find a dark street and do the deed. We are both aware how juvenile and high school that was. We finally got a place together a year ago, and things were an adjustment at first, but eventually we got into the groove of sharing a space and creating a joint routine. Of course, we had discussions and arguments along the way, because you truly don't know the ins and outs of a person until you are with them 24/7. I will admit I have never had a relationship this deep and serious until he came along, so I have had to do some learning along the way. He always seemed to know how to communicate and handle disagreements, and basically had to teach me along the way. I know he was frustrated with having to do this each time, because he told me he shouldn't have to show me the basics. Any person would know the basics of a healthy relationship. Moving forward, I started to feel like I was constantly messing up and letting him down. I still feel that way. One of these mess-ups was not giving him sex on his birthday the year before. He communicated this to me months before his recent birthday, and I acknowledged and we moved on. He also communicated that he wants me to initiate it more, which I had never had to do before and was trying to become comfortable with. We would have sex maybe once a week, and I had only initiated a handful of times. It's not because I didn't want to, I just felt shy and awkward. Come his birthday, we had people over and it was very overwhelming and exhausting. I had not even thought about sex, let alone the conversation we had had about the previous year. When we went to bed at night, we started cuddling, and on occasion we liked to cuddle naked to feel closer. It didn't always lead to sex, it is just something we would do. I was so comfortable cuddling with him that I started dozing off. I remember him trying to get me going, but I did not reciprocate. I ended up falling asleep. The next day was completely different. He was distant, quiet, and cold, and when I asked him about it, he said that after him telling me about his previous birthday, why would I just go and do that again for this birthday? He felt unwanted, like he constantly has to do the chasing, and pathetic. I was heartbroken. I never intended for him to feel that way, I was honestly just exhausted. I know the day this happened was his birthday, and he had brought it up to me before this day. I feel like I really messed up. It has now been almost 2 months that this happened, and things have not gotten better. He is rethinking our entire relationship because I showed my true colors, and our sex drives don't align. He thinks that my desire for him from now on will be fake because I am only going to be doing it to avoid conflict. I have tried to give him affection, surprise him with sweet treats, surprise him with dinner, asked him to go on dates, basically do what I can to show that I care, and he has told me that it all means nothing because he keeps thinking about how he felt in that moment. I am exhausted and feel really close to giving up. I don't know what else I can do to fix this, and I am starting to wonder if this is even my problem to fix now. If he can't get past this within himself, then what am I even doing? If anyone has been on either side of this, please tell me what you did to get past this, or did you even get past this? I think I should also mention that we have only said, "I love you," once in our relationship, and he was drunk. I don't think he remembers. I have recently said it as a reminder to him of how much I care about him, but he did not say it back. I feel like I need outside objective opinions and advice to help me decide how to move forward. Advice 1. Sex isn't everything. I'm the same as you, I've never initiated sexual activities with anyone, and I've often found myself in this situation. Feeling guilty for not reciprocating. But that's not something you should feel guilty about. If you felt it, you'd act on it, and it's very concerning to hear that he's making sex mandatory. You don't owe anyone anything, boyfriend, husband, etc. You should find someone who makes you feel comfortable with saying, no, or, not right now. I didn't realize how unhealthy this was until I got with my current FWB. Until I found someone who didn't make me feel so guilty for saying no, or not being in the mood. It's exhausting and stressful, and by making it mandatory, he's taking the little interest you have left in sexual acts away from you. It's your body, regardless of the day. If you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it. Advice 2. Why is saying I love you once in 6 years okay? That doesn't psychologically help either of you. Sounds like a good topic to discuss. Do you love each other? You should say it. His biggest complaint was you not initiating sex. I have tried to give him affection, surprise him with sweet treats, surprise him with dinner, asked him to go on dates, basically do what I can to show that I care, and he has told me that it all means nothing. Is giving him affection code for initiating sex, because none of that is the one thing he wanted. Now if that's not something you are not able to do, then that needs to be a conversation between you both. Boyfriend doesn't want to kiss me anymore. 1 month ago my boyfriend with whom I live got COVID. Obviously he got me sick too, cause I tried taking care of him. I have all my vaccines and he doesn't, because he didn't believe in vaccines. I still wear masks even though I almost never go out, but he stopped wearing them at work where he is in contact with a lot of people. When he got me sick, the virus was worst on me and I had to take care of myself cause he was already back at work. I felt hopeless and so bad, and I was so scared. Of course during those 2 weeks where he and I were sick we didn't kiss nor hug. I couldn't see anyone for 2 weeks, only him. After my quarantine period passed, he still didn't want to hug me, even less kiss me. I had to beg him during 1.5 weeks for him to allow me to hug him, little by little. But no way kissing, he just said that was a no-no. Well, a month has passed and he still doesn't let me kiss him, not even on the cheek or the neck, not even his hand. I feel awful, rejected, I feel desperate, almost as intimate contact as my love language, and I really crave for it. My mood has totally changed, I feel so down every single day, heartbroken almost. It was so hard to get him to touch me again and hug me like before, but kissing feels like something he won't allow in us again. When I ask him how much I need to wait, he gets angry and doesn't answer. That makes me more desperate because I don't know till when do I have to wait. I asked him if I have to wait for next year, but he doesn't say a thing. The only thing he said once was that he just wants to feel better. Just because we both keep on coughing, but I was told that is like a post-COVID symptom that takes time to go away. He knows that, I've told him millions of times, he still rejects me. It would be less bad if he did that with everyone, but he just greets other women with a kiss on the cheek, he accepts the kisses from his grandma and mom, and he sometimes doesn't wear mask, again. We've been together for many years, I'm in love with him still, but it seems he's just been extremely cautioned with me after he made me sick with COVID because of his fault, or maybe he is just looking for excuses to keep me away. He says he still loves me, he thinks I'm beautiful and sexy. Yet he pushes me away in any physical contact. Please give me your thoughts, I feel so awful. Advice. Maybe give it a few more weeks as your illness is fairly recent, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. During that time, do not try to force contact, do not go and seek for hugs, kisses from him, nothing. Let him come to you. In a few weeks' time doing this, or a month, if nothing has changed and he still pushes you away, then sorry to break it to you, but illness was just a pretext. Dump him. Boyfriend of 2 years cheated. So I'm F17 and my BF is 18. We've been together for 2 years now and he just called me to tell me he cheated. It's funny because as soon as I picked up I asked what's wrong and he sounded very distressed and I said it can't be that bad as long as he hasn't cheated, which he did. Basically, this girl, let's call her Sarah. Sarah is a new friend that he started hanging out with when he went out with his friends. They never hung out alone, only in groups. Fast forward a month, she asks him if he's single, even though she knows he's not. Says he, lead her on, but he clears the air and says no, I'm in a relationship. He told me about this incident and I said he should distance himself and not hang out with her as it makes me uncomfortable. He insisted that I was being paranoid and unreasonable, and that there was no reason to ruin a friendship just because she likes him. Big red flag. He said I should trust him enough to know nothing would ever happen between them, and I did trust him. I just didn't trust Sarah. He said I shouldn't be worried BC nothing would happen, and he joked that he could easily push her off if she made a move. Today he called and said he got drunk at a party that they both were at. She called him to her house after she left and he got an Uber to hers. They hung out alone and she proceeded to sit on him, kiss him, and then he fingered her and they made out quite a bit. They were both drunk and Sarah was apparently on ecstasy too. Hearing all of this I was very shocked and could barely process it, so I laughed and said I'm kind of surprised, which I was, as we had a healthy relationship and being cheating on was the least of my worries. I felt like I was dreaming. It came as a shock because I trusted this boy more than I trusted myself. I seriously considered him more loyal than myself even. He then said he understood sorry doesn't mean anything at this point, so he just wanted to let me know what happened and wants to work through this and that he's confused too. I know I will be leaving him as I cannot see myself forgiving him or moving on from this, even if my life depended on it. I'm the type of person who gets upset over late texts, so I know that while I don't feel anything right now, this will break me later, especially if I decide to stay with him. I cannot see myself happy at all. I'm disappointed because I had a bad feeling about this girl and I made that clear, but he made me think I was being irrational and I believed it. I let go of my gut feeling and now I will lose the one person I love the most. I know I'm young, so it's not that deep, but it feels like my world is falling apart right in front of me. What is the best way to end it? I don't want to make a rash decision just yet for my own sake, as I will end up regretting not getting closure. Cheating is a very sensitive topic for me due to my childhood, and I am a person very driven by my feelings and emotions, so I think I need to let everything out before I end it, e.g. how much time, energy, and love I invested only for this to happen. I mean, I just want to make him realize how much he fucked up. My friends keep telling me to simply say it's over and never talk to him again, but I am not satisfied with that. I feel like I need to wait a week at least before I break up. Any advice on what to say? I kinda want to make him feel like shit and carry the guilt for the rest of his life. Lol, it's a bit petty, but it's the truth. I don't want to sound angry and crazy, and not too dramatic, but I want a little bit of flair so it makes a lasting impression. I promise I'm not a narcissist, I just want to make him feel a fraction of what I will feel soon. Advice 1. Tell him you need space to process what's happened. I agree, a week sounds good. Don't tell him a week, let him sweat. During your week or however long, let everything sink in and decide what you want to say. You will express yourself much better when you've had time to think about everything. Every facet of your life and relationship that he's fucked up. Simply put, he's a selfish person deep down and can't be trusted. You asked him to stay away from her and he didn't respect that. He joked he would push her off if she tried anything, but yet, he didn't, did he? Thank him for telling you right away, but that he must know cheating is a no-tolerance situation for you. It's gross, selfish and disrespectful. Tell him you can't look at him without feeling disgust or pity. Tell him to be a better person for his next girlfriend. Tell him you deserve better and you'll have no problem finding it. Advice 2. If you live together, it is either pack your stuff or his. If you don't live together, pack up anything that is his in a box for him. Change locks if needed. If you have mutual friends, invite them to your place, tell them you warned him of your concerns and still he went to her place for a hookup. You don't really think only his finger was inside her, right? Ask which of them wants the honor of taking his box to his new chick's place. Tell them all that if cheating is okay with them, then to let you know, so they can be exclusively his friend, and you'll be happy to delete their number. Those who understand cheating is a deal breaker can text him that he sucks and that they can't be friends. Make them choose. If they can't choose you, they have chosen him. If this doesn't cause him to lose friends, then they deserve each other. Post on his social media that due to his cheating with Sarah, he is now no longer your BF. Then block and ignore. My 24F boyfriend, 29, cheated on me emotionally with his colleague, 28F. I am at loss. Backstory to me: I am diagnosed with borderline and a lot of other stuff. I sometimes cannot handle my feelings and project them, I think, onto my BF. My strategy to cope with all my problems and fears is either I take my time away from it and then come back with a clear head to reflect. In this time I cannot give him love and affection even though he needs that after fights. That's new for me and hard work. Usually I would inflict myself pain and ignore all of my problems. We are together for 2 years, he knows her for 3 months and has really tight contact with her since this week. She is in an open relationship and knew about our relationship. I saw yesterday that something is wrong and I asked him about it. We had a fight some weeks ago and he said he is just reflecting, but I saw something wasn't right. I asked him direct questions like, "Did you find someone else? I guess it's the borderline," and I had to ask him so many times. First he said no and he just started looking at others. Then he said he fallen in love with someone and finally told me he wrote with his colleague behind my back with her about our problems, and then they started to write things like, "I miss you and I wish we would do this and this," nothing sexual per writing. He said to me that he told her that she fucks with his head and it's okay because he would let her fuck him. She had fantasies and that the word fucking triggered her. My problem is he is protecting her and takes her feelings kinda more into account than mine. I wanted to read everything what they wrote to know where do I stand. "No, you have no right to do that, I have to ask her for permission," was his answer. He said he realized he used her for finding himself again and having trust in himself again. He said he cares for her, but I mean the world to him, and he wants to stay with me because he realized he messed up big time. But at the same time he protects her, and I really don't know what to think. I don't know if I can trust his words. Reason why I cannot trust him is because he still texts her instead to leave it be. I told him this hurt me really bad and IDK if I can even trust him anymore. His excuse was, he lost himself and didn't believe in himself to be strong enough to be there for me because of our fights exhausted and broke him. My fears become his and he is overwhelmed with everything. He projected me onto her and that's why he was like that to her, but intentionally wrote to her what he did. He said he did the exact same thing what I did. When we started dating I had an FWB and I met this guy and told him and he was not okay with it and hurt. I was sorry for that. I know that was wrong. After he told me I did not intend to hurt him. I broke of the contact with FWB as soon as we got together. He says he didn't trust me at the start of our relationship. I know I am far from perfect. I know I have a lot of fault in this because of my behavior in fights. I see not really a fault in me for him emotionally cheating on me. But it seems like he takes all the blame on me and relativizes my feeling and me being hurt. He protects her feelings and doesn't care about mine. Sorry if it's confusing and too much going on. I am just at loss. My heart is shattered into million pieces and I am so confused with my feelings and I don't know what to do and would like to see some other perspectives. Thank you. Advice 1. It's one thing to emotionally cheat. It's a whole other thing to continue to do it. He is still cheating on you. He doesn't want to end the relationship because she is not 100% free, so he is keeping you around as a backup plan. You will break up, he will sleep with her straight away and then regret getting involved in an open relationship when she doesn't commit to him. Then he will contact you telling you how much a mistake it was and how much he loves you. Save yourself the pain and get out now. I would just tell him you have no plans to sit around whilst he continues his relationship with his affair partner. You have too much self-respect to allow a man to treat you in this manner. Advice 2. He said he did the exact same thing what I did. When we started dating I had an FWB and I met this guy and told him and he was not okay with it and hurt. I was sorry for that. I know that was wrong. After he told me I did not intend to hurt him, I broke off the contact with FWB as soon as we got together. He says he didn't trust me at the start of our relationship. Unless you had sex or sexted or STH like that with your FWB after you entered this relationship, no, this is not exactly the same thing. And he wants permission from essentially his affair partner, who knew he was in a relationship, in order to let you read the texts. He is still in touch with her. Girl. The fact that you have a mental health issue doesn't mean that your partner can cheat on you then blame you and continue talking to the other woman. Don't let him convince you that you made him do this, or that he doesn't have to rebuild trust. You deserve to be treated with kindness. Not this.